I'd like for us to now move to the second part of our conversation, a few quick fire questions, another opportunity for us to get to know you a little bit better. And I would like to start off with this question. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up. You referred to it earlier and you said that you grew up in Limpopo, but tell us a little bit about the environment and how much you actually love being at home.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I always escape there, especially during the winter. So I grew up in a township called 𝗀𝗀𝗀. It's near Zanin in Limpopo. And I went to 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶 High School. Came to fame was Dale Steyn also went to 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶 High School. I was in grade 8 and he was in matric when he was there. And he
Wow.
played in the same team as my brother. But I mean, who knew that, you know, this young boy on a skateboard with long peroxided hair was going to be an absolute goat in his industries.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up. I mean, Limpopo is amazing. I love being home. It really grounds me. I make sure I go home every other month. Just, the big city lives, like I said, they get a bit much sometimes. And yeah, I love it. I love the simple life. I'm big on family, and that's how I recharge. That's how I re-energize. That's where I get my focus and my passion from. So yeah, I am definitely a home girl, Limpopo rural home girl.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Let's look at this next question. And if you were to write a biography today, what would the title be?
The things she never said.
Oh, what would be in the book? I feel like there's a lot to to read
So
about.
the things I never said. I think, yeah, I've
Is there
seen
a
a lot.
story to tell?
I've heard a lot. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. I've experienced a lot, but I haven't said a lot. So I think
Okay.
if I'm going to write a memo, then I would want to obviously say something. So that would be the things I never said.
All
The
right.
things she never
Okay. I suppose we have to wait for the book to find out what you didn't say because you're not going to tell us during this conversation, are you?
No. I want a bestseller, so I'm going to hold on to that.
All right, absolutely beautiful. Now, I would like for you to name the best tournament that you were involved in as a PR manager.
Oh, sure. I would have to say that 2015 World Cup, although it ended in heartbreak, I think, that year leading up to it, the team was in such a great space. Everybody was gelling. The environment was amazing. And, it was just, everything was gelling until the last moment. But for me, I look back on the memories. I look back on, the times shared with all the individuals, the coaching staff, the players. Everybody was really committed to one purpose. And we launched that 𝗀𝗃𝗃 campaign then. And that really, to today, it's still 𝗀𝗃𝗃, even though sometimes, the fire is shaky. But it was such a galvanizing campaign. I really felt like for the first time, South Africa was really behind this team. And, the way that the hashtag was taken upon and, some of the stories that we told around the campaign, it was for me really inspiring and yeah, probably the best. From a performance point of view, I'd say 2012 when the team won the Mace in the UK, the English press when the team arrived had written the team off, they were just nasty and just, you know how we can get tabloid media. But the team really just stuck it out and, walked away, beating England. Another captain resigned, had won the Mace, and it was just, yeah, it was a beautiful time to be a cricket supporter in South Africa because, when the team is dominated, especially in the Test arena, it's wonderful to be a part of it.
Beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about some of those countries. We touched on it earlier, some of the amazing countries that you had an opportunity to visit. Which one had the most memorable cultural experience?
It would have to be India. I think I also still have a lot of friends that I made from India who are still friends now and I still communicate. I think the people there are so down to earth, and so simple about life, and they treasure the small things, and I think that's how I was able to build those lasting relationships. There's also so much to see. I think it's still seeing so much culture. It hasn't been taken over too much by the West, a lot of their sacred monuments, a lot of their beautiful sort of cultures and rich history and tapestry, beautiful cloth. It's all still there, and it's there for you to consume and to learn about. I think fine, you can go to your beautiful first world countries, your Australia's, your England, those are just like home, only a little bit bigger. Well, they have electricity, hey. But you don't really get to experience a lot of their culture, but I feel like the subcontinent allows you to do that, and it's still so pure in its form. So that's probably the best place that I enjoyed touring.
Beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about the captains that you had an opportunity to work with as the PR manager for the Proteas. I'd like for you to name one, but that might be a little bit challenging. So I'll give you an opportunity to name 3 captains that you really enjoyed working with, and also maybe some of the things that you remember about that experience.
Absolutely. Sure. Okay, so I think the 3 best, not best, but the ones that obviously I had very good relationships with would be Graeme Smith, 𝗙𝗵 de Villiers, and 𝗙់¿ce𝗹𝗹𝗶. I think Graeme was the captain when I started, and he really brought me, he embraced me, he didn't see me as this young girl, what is she doing here? No, he saw me as, somebody who can provide value and insight, and somebody who could lean on. And, I really appreciated the respect that, came from him. And, seeing his leadership also was just really inspiring, the way he led the team with heart, with fight, he really, really loved, leading South Africa, and, his record speaks for itself as well. And then 𝗙𝗵, he's an Aquarian, so I always felt like, I always got him. I understood him, and we got each other really well. I think for him, his tenure for me, it had a lot of tough moments. And for me, that's how you really tell a leader and a person and a captain, is how they deal with these tough moments. That 2015 World Cup, the changing was in tears, like the way it ended. And then he had to still, he was also, it was tough for him, but he still had to man up and front up and, go speak to the media, go speak to South Africa. And, for me, that says a lot, that, he was a true leader, even when the chips were down, he understood what his role was, and he led with purpose. So, that was fascinating to watch, and really great to be a part of. And then, 𝗙𝗙, I think 𝗙𝗙 for me, he is such, actually, if there could be a manual in leadership, he should write it, because he, for me, epitomizes what a leader is. Always fair, never quick to condemn, always looks at both sides of the story. He is such a team man, always, he's intentional about making sure everybody in the team feels represented, whether you debutants or you've played 100 test matches, you all have a voice and you can all add to the environment. He was big on culture, big on team culture. And I think, under his leadership, the team, went on to achieve great things. I mean, I remember Moose Gates in Australia, that was tough. That was a very, very tough situation. But, he came out, and what did he do? He scores 100, that keeps everybody quiet. That shows you. I mean, I know how much he went through dealing with that, but for him to be able to put it aside and still focus on leading the team was incredible. So I'm so fortunate to have worked with 3 of the best captains, in my opinion. So yeah, I could go on and on and on. So please stop me.
No problem. I'll stop you with this question. I'd love for you to pick one: ODI cricket or T20 cricket?
ODI or T20? I thought you were gonna say taste there. I'll say T20.
How so?
I think I enjoy seeing the way T20s revolutionized the way that players think. It's always never over until it's over. Because the situation's always changing in the game. You can't really say, oh no, they're 200 for 2, it's game over type thing. And you have to think on your feet. The match situation changes so often. So you never really know who's going to win. I mean, unless, it's an outright, one-sided game. But certainly from a mental and skills point of view, the players are challenged a whole lot. And yeah, from a spectator point of view, you never really know, what's going to happen. You almost like, oh, wow, incredible. Oh, did you see that shot? Did you see that feeling? What an over. So yeah, I enjoy that.
Beautiful.
But obviously, tastes are my favorite. We did clear that out, right?
Well, I'm trying to move you to a different format here, but it seems that you're stuck on your 5-day cricket. I would like for us to tackle this question. What are some of the trends that you are still keeping up with in the world of PR, specifically in the sports industry?
Yeah, I think for me, certainly coming from, that traditional sort of sports PR point of view, I'm really, really enjoying seeing the digital trends. Digital marketing and digital content has become a really big thing in the way that, brands tell their stories and brands position themselves. So that's something that I've been really following a lot and seeing, different campaigns and how the digital marketing aspect comes into life, and also the storytelling. I think, we've seen how, fans don't care about a campaign. What are you telling me? They want to know what's the heart, they want to be captured emotionally. So seeing how brands and companies are going about doing that storytelling aspect it's been fascinating to see. And I think certainly from where we're going as an industry, that's where it is. It's the fans want heart. You've been sitting at home for 2 years. I haven't been able to buy anything. So how else are you going to captivate me? How else are you going to, bring me into your corner? So that's been fascinating to be part of and to also see rolled out around the world.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about the Proteas women's team. If Hilton Moraine were to give you a call and say, listen, we're about to head to Australia and we would love to have you be a part of the team, not on the PR side of things, but on the field, where would you love to position yourself?
Oh, wow. So I used to be a batter. I opened the batting. But I think, now in retrospect, I'd rather be more of a middle order, kind of cameo pinch hitter, coming to score a quick 30 of 10 balls,
Wow.
Ambitious, eh? So yeah, that's where I would see myself fitting into the team. And obviously also taking the wicket keeping gloves. So those are that's how I would be adding value to this squad.
You're locked onto the Sport MVT Insider, a podcast for unrelenting coverage of women in sport. Coming up this Friday, our athletes, coaches, and administrators answer the questions that you have always wondered about. If you haven't sent through your questions yet, just slide into our DMs, tell us your name, where you're from, and leave your questions, and we will make sure that we ask them. Keep it locked onto Sport MVT, where we celebrate women in sport.